I can't hear you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what's poppin'. What up?
Man, you tell me, man. It's been almost like 30 years, man.
I know. What's up with your boy Mike T?
I don't know. I don't know, man. I think it's time for a change of venue.
What?
Yeah, time for a change of venue. We gotta do some things, man. You already know, man. It's getting a little stale. It's getting a little stale there. Got to change it up.
I agree. You like
Yeah.
my chops?
What?
Yeah.
Man.
Hey, I can't be on this bitch toothless.
Oh, I got you. I
Let me
got you.
go. Let me go get my slippers. Hold on.
All right.
Damn, you look good. You look good. Yeah. So I always ask everybody this. Is there anything you don't want to talk about?
Nah,
Or
man.
okay.
Talk about
So,
anything.
all right. So at the count of 10, just follow my lead. All right. Just count the 10 in your mind. All right.
All right.
Welcome to Riders Live. I'm your host, Riders, and today I have a very special guest, Pittsburgh Steelers fan. It ain't nobody else in the backcourt I'd rather be running on a court with. Long time friend. I consider this guy a brother and the best Spades partner in the world. Introduce yourself to the listeners of Riders Live and tell them a little bit about yourself.
Oh, appreciate the introduction. Uh, my name is Brian. Uh, Pretty much I know Mr. Rodis. Going up in the ranks in the Marine Corps. Yeah, you got that right, man. You were my ace boon coon, back then, going back all the way to shoot, like 90. God dang, man, it's been a long time. Like 90,
94.
yeah, 94, yeah. Yeah, playing spades on the ship and all that, busting people heads, on that spades table, playing, basketball, running up and down the courts and all. But I'm originally from Florida. Yeah, I'm a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, but I'm also a Miami Hurricane fan as well. So I'm kind of stoked right now that, my team is still in the playoffs in the semifinals right now. Yeah. Uh, got a I got a 23-year-old son. He just turned 23 last month. So yeah, everything is good. I'm engaged, you know, to a really good, sweet, Jamaican queen, and also, you know, yeah. Uh, Everything is good, man. Life is good. I can't complain. I got no complaints.
That's what's popping. Hey, I can't complain either. I'm married. I see that Jamaican food been keeping you fat. What?
Man, yeah, she can cook, man. She can
You,
cook.
you been eating the oxtail and the curry goat and the plankton and the rice and peas.
Yeah, yeah, I've been eating all that and then some, you know.
Man, I ain't mad at you. I think that's my favorite cuisine. So let's just talk about partners, period. Like things that partners don't do. Just gonna be a quick rapid fire, and all you gotta do is say yes or no. All right.
All right.
Pillow talk about what men speak about in a barber shop.
No.
Okay. Looking at your man's girl with admiration.
Yeah, it depends, man. It depends. You know, if it's not disrespectful or anything like that, you could be like, yeah, your, your other half is looking, really good and all, but it's not in a lustful manner. Just acknowledging that, yes, she's attractive.
Okay. That's what's popping. Um, what else? Yeah, that's about it for that right there. So, what goes into having a good spades partner?
First, you got to study the game, man. You can't just going up in there, just, as what they say, uh, in the fire. Now you got to observe, you got to see, what the rules are, how people play, and all that. Because us black folks, we take spades personal. We take it serious. So if somebody pick you and you don't know what you're doing, and you sitting around there, cutting people, cut the spades part out, man, it's liable to get violent, man. So my thing is just watch first, you know dip your toe in it a little bit. Let your partner know that you just starting out, so they understand, that okay, you did this, you made a mistake, you made a couple mistakes and all, but you just can't go in there just sit your behind down like you know how to play spades, and you cutting your partner out and you reneging and all that. Nah, that's not going to end too well.
I know that's right. So, what is your natural reaction when you're sitting across from your partner and the game is on the line and your partner say, "I got nine."
Man, you trust your partner, man. If your partner got nine, you trust your partner got nine, and let your partner just follow your partner's lead. That's it. That's it.
That's what's poppin'. So we did win a spades tournament on the ship, did we not?
Yeah,
We
we
won
did.
that thing, didn't we?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it was a lot of us talking on the boat. It ain't no you can't be weak in the heart when it comes to spades or pretty much anything. Um, but spades, the chemistry in spades, do you think that contributed to like a lot of our French Creek experiences, the hooping on the court?
Ah, most definitely, man. You know, it started out on the court, and then it just manifested itself, into other areas, friendship and all that, hanging out, in the creek and also out in Jacksonville, North Carolina, not Florida. For the people out there, there is more than one Jacksonville. So and then it just manifests itself, up on the ship, manifests itself on the spades table and all that. So yeah, a lot of that has to do with, the relationship. that we had, the reason why we, be able to become so good. We can read each other, without telling one another what we got.
Exactly. I got 9. That's what's popping. So I don't know if you know this, but like on my last, was you on my last float with me? Yeah, you was on my last float with me. That's right.
Wait, wait,
Thing
wait, wait.
ha-
You did two pumps.
yeah, I did too. We did
Now,
one. We did one on that Woodby Island. It was a hot garbage mess.
yeah, the
And,
Whitby Island.
and then I think we did one on the
Nah,
Nassau.
nah, mm-mm.
You just did blue green on the Nassau?
No, I only did one with you because I was in MSSG 26 uh a year prior to you.
Right.
So my first I did two pumps. So the first tour was with the USS Tortuga, you know,
Oh, okay. You
and
did
then
that. You did that one with Mallet. Now,
yeah, 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 with Mallet. Yeah,
I wish I would have been on that one.
yeah, Mallet, man, that dude, boy, he was something else.
Was he from Chicago?
Nah, Mallet was somewhere from the south.
Oh, okay. Shout out to the South. Shout out St. Pete.
That's right. The
I
bird.
I asked my homeboy. He from Florida. He from Tallahassee. Shout out King Germ. I asked him when he rather would he rather his car break down in St. Pete or Clearwater? He said Clearwater.
Oh yeah, I'd rather have my car break down in Clearwater too, man. St. Pete, nah, nah, no sir.
I know, right? But I love Florida. I've been there a couple of times since I've been out, maybe like 12 times and shit. So it's all good. I love Florida, but do you remember that other electrician in your platoon? Um, he was from Chicago. You ain't gotta say his name, but you know what you know who I'm talking about.
Uh, man, I
It's
really
been a
don't know.
minute.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
I'm gonna talk to you offline.
All right.
So let's talk about the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm praying for them today. Cause I think Aaron Rodgers been messing them up myself.
Nah, I'm gonna tell you who messing it up is DK Metcalf.
Oh
DK
yeah.
messed it up because of what he did, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna actually fault the teammates because they ain't police him up. Because when
Right.
they seen him interacting with the fan, they should, man, somebody out of all them 52 guys that's on that sideline and them all them assistant coaches and whatnot, somebody should have pulled him away from that fan, from the interaction of fan. They know they're not supposed to be interacting with fans like that. Not during the game.
Right.
No,
Antonio Brown ain't never did that.
no, no.
And
So
like, why was he over there anyway?
exactly my
To get
point.
some
Exact.
water. I kind of think that it's fixed myself.
You know what? I kind of think of that way because they could have won. I mean, we had the Cleveland Browns. You
They
know,
and they never throw the ball across the middle of the field. Muth was open. A lot of people was open across that middle.
yeah, yeah, we could have won that game. I think it was fixed, for the whole hype of the end of the season, fight for the title on the line, type narrative. So, I think that was bad. They could have suspended DK for one game. I seen more egregious stuff, from NFL players, and they only get suspended one game. But for
Right.
them to suspend him for the final two games of the season, knowing that the title is hanging in the balance, nah, that was fixed. I don't care what anybody say. That Nah, this was staged.
Yeah, I'm in agreement with you because one of my homies, shout out to Conversations with Lamb, he was like, man, I hate to be a Pittsburgh Steelers fan right now because he felt like it was fixed.
Yeah, he's not wrong, and he's not the only one that feels like that. He's in large company when it comes to feeling like that game was fixed. So I
So
feel the same way.
my thing is, I'm hoping that we win today against the Dirty Birds. We at home, and we make it to the Super Bowl and win. I know this is wishful thinking, but in the AFC, I don't see no teams that's really more dominant against us, except for maybe the Bills because we was not stopping the run at all. We let them just walk all over us. But it seemed like we got that part down. But like on offense, it's like they don't know what they want to do. The running game work. Why stop it?
Well, we don't have no receivers. That's
We
the
don't.
problem right there. Let's
Mhm.
start right there. We don't have no receivers. Calvin Austin, he may be fast, but he's too small. Uh, we got like three tight ends. Frymouth is very athletic. He can catch, he got hands and all, but we don't utilize him for God knows what. John Smith, he's athletic. They don't use him like that. And Darnell Washington, well, he's out now because he has a broken arm,
Mhm.
so um DK is out, so we got, MVP, but no. What MVS? Yeah, MVS, Mar Valdez Scantling. He's from the Bird. He's from the
Okay.
Bird. Yeah. He came out of Lakewood High. So yeah,
Okay.
Valdez Scantling. He he's a Florida boy. From the Bird, from my hometown. So, but he hasn't been doing anything. I mean, he just got there. Uh, and they got old boy from Minnesota.
They don't even throw the ball to Roman Wilson.
They need to. But
Mhm.
you know what? I don't know what's going on, man, with that team. That's the reason why I'm like, man, it's time to get rid of Tomlin. Not saying that, he's a bad coach. No, I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is that the team is too complacent, and he's not doing what he needs to do to fix it. He's just trying to patch stuff. You know, they just got to break that stuff. They got to break that whole team down and rebuild. I'm sorry, but we got to rebuild now. So we got that quarterback from Ohio State. You know, they say he's good, but for some reason he's always injured. He stayed on the injury report. I think he's fine, but they just don't want to play him. That's my opinion. So,
I
um,
feel that way too.
so my thing is, I think we got a quarterback, but we just need to revamp everything. We're too old, man. Them guys, man, on defense. I mean, we're too old. Uh, I mean, the
I agree.
running backs, we okay, but we definitely need a quarterback. Aaron Rodgers can't do it, man. He's not mobile like he used to. He show flashes every now and then, but nah, we got to rebuild.
We got a lot of draft picks in this draft coming up. What quarterback would you pick? I would draft two receivers first, but what quarterback would you pick?
Um, shoot. Oh my gosh. Actually, actually, Mendoza is good. Mendoza is good. You
Really
know,
good.
yeah. He may not be as mobile, but that dude, he's accurate. He's a good quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the only one that I'm looking at right now. Everybody else, it's okay, but Mendoza seems like he's more NFL ready than the other quarterbacks.
I agree. I agree 100%. Man, I love Mike T. It seems like he been abducted by aliens or some shit. The three-eye
Ma-
atlas then got him.
Man, I'm telling you, man, it's time for Pittsburgh and him to part ways, man. I think it's time. You know, it we 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 got to have a fresh scenery. It's getting too stale. You
Mm-hmm.
know, hey, people get mad and all that stuff, but hey, it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
We need a jump start. We need a jump start. We need fresh new people, fresh faces up in there, and hopefully that'll turn some things around in the positive way.
Mm-hmm. That's true. So let's talk about hip hop. What's your favorite album of all time? Your favorite artist and your favorite female MC?
Man, dude, you gonna put me out like that? That's
What's your favorite album? We're gonna start there.
uh I wanna say, hold on, that's a lot. Okay, I'm a Southern guy. I'm a Southern guy. So
He
pretty
from the
much,
bottom. He talking
yeah.
that southern guy. He from the bottom.
I'm going to say my favorite my favorite album is Southern Playalistic Cadillac Music from Outkast.
Hey, my wife love that album. I'm glad she ain't nowhere around here right now. She love that album, and it's good. You know,
Yeah,
when they dropped that album, it gave everybody a different outlook of the South. And like, even though I went to Jackson State or whatever, um, I ain't really get too much turned on to the South until I got to Camp Lejeune.
yeah,
Talking to you and folks, shout out Shane folks and everybody like that, everybody from different environments, just blending and gelling together like brothers. But I ain't know guys in the South kicked it like that until, well, when I was kicking it with you and all the guys, I'm like, okay. And then Outkast, they just put the stamp on it, you know?
yeah. Love them guys. Love them guys, man. They got it out the mud in that album because it was their first album. So pretty much, it hit hard, especially the song Southern Playalistic Cadillac Music, man. God, leave, man. I was bumping it hard. But I was like leaning towards, honestly, I was like leaning towards the infamous from Mobb Deep.
Woo! Hey, folks put me up on that album. Shout out to Shane folks from West Virginia. He put me on to the infamous.
Yeah.
And I actually got to meet Prodigy here in Chicago.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I got to meet him. I said it on another episode, and I got a song with Cormega.
Oh,
I ain't gonna
shoot.
keep saying that, but I do. I owe you a package. It's on the way.
All right, bet.
Yeah. So who's your favorite artist? Solo artist, males.
Solo
Hmm.
artist male. Uh, it would have to be it would have to be Nas.
Yeah, Nas
Nas.
Cole. Shout out Nas.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go to the females.
Okay. Females. I like honestly, I like Foxy Brown. Um, and it's one artist from the Midwest. The name is Boss.
Yeah, she
I had
died.
she did?
Yeah. Deeper and
Yeah,
deeper.
yeah,
We used
yeah,
to be
yeah,
bumping that shit in
yeah,
your
yeah,
Honda Accord. Deeper and deeper.
yeah. I like Boss. You know,
Mm.
I bumped her a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, R.I.P. Boss. So, how do you feel about urban culture?
Man.
Like right now, like in this state, like when we was in the Marine Corps, it wasn't no internet. We
Yeah,
was
I think
we was bending the blocks, meeting girls, and we had to get their phone up, and all of that.
yeah. Yeah, the to me, honestly, the culture is falling off. If I'm being honest, the culture is falling off. You know, the internet is doing a lot of things. It's it. I'm just it's like it's just the things that we used to do back then, like you said. Stepping to women. Having the courage and all that stuff. You know, uh, like if we had disagreements, we disagree right face to face, face
Yes.
to face. And then if we have a problem with it, we handle it, physically right then and there. You know, take for instance, you already know when me and Armadere is, on the ship. I had a
Mm-hmm.
problem with him, and we took it down to the bottom of the ship, and we handled it like like that. And after our little squabble, we were cool after that. But
Mm-hmm.
the culture, the culture now with this internet and all this stuff, it's just watered down. It's making people weak, cowards. You know, it is what it is. I said what I said. But
I think it's enhancing even more in the workplace with the email dry snitching and shit. That's crazy.
yeah, yeah, I agree. Yeah, that's a good way of thinking. You think outside the box with that. Yeah, because of work people, they don't, be like real co-workers and sit down, try to, you know, hey, I seen that, I noticed this, I noticed that, blah blah blah. It's all that dry snitching, man. But I just don't like it.
I don't either. And then the thing about it is when they come to you, it's some left field shit. Like, I'm gonna give you an example. So one of my coworkers was coming in the building talking on her earpiece to somebody. Another coworker heard the shit and took that shit straight to the principal and HR and all that shit. And the lady was like, I was on my headpiece, I was on my phone. Well, where's this person? Who is this person? So I could, basically tell them to man their own business. That's crazy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know,
It's this internet age is something else, man. I just sit back, as a matter of fact, I actually start pulling back away from the internet a lot the late last year. So I'm like, man, I ain't trying to get into all this, feed into all any of that stuff. It's just crazy.
yeah, that's just like me. I fall back from it. I do my show. Um, I market, I promote, I do a little scrolling. You know, me and you, we come from the era of being outside. And I don't know. If I wasn't from the era of outside, knowing who I am, um, my authenticity, and just knowing how to be myself, and when the OGs came through and smacked you in the mouth so you could taste blood for messing up, I don't know who I'll be. These kids don't got that.
Nah, they don't. And my son, I tried to, get that, have him have that mindset. Of course, I didn't have custody of him, but when I did have custody, like throughout the summer, and through some holidays and whatnot like that, I tried to teach him, on, the responsibilities being man, and then, try to tell him, go outside, you know, don't be sitting, in between the four walls, not stuck on, the internet or TV, game systems and whatnot. I'm like, man, go out there, touch some grass, man. That's what people need to do is touch some grass,
Hmm.
get some reality in them. But they don't want to do that. It is, you know, and so when things happen outside of their little box,
Bubble. Yeah.
yeah, then they get a reality check. They're shocked. It's like, no, this is everyday life. It's
Hmm.
just that you put yourself in this little bubble, like you said, and sheltered yourself, you know, and some of them things, some situations you're gonna find yourself, dealing with something that you're unfamiliar with, but it's common to most folks that are older than you. That's why it's always imperative for young folks to consult older folks because the older people are wiser because we already been there, done that. you know.
Hmm.
So we be just trying to tell these young folks, we already done been down this road. Don't fall into the same trap, But hey, to each his own. You're a grown man, you're a grown woman at the age of 18. Once my son, graduated high school, I washed my hands. I'm like, you're an adult now.
Right.
I give you advice, but I'm not going to hold your hand.
Exactly. It's just like me. I, I teach in the high schools. And I cuff the shorties and I say, have you ever noticed that everything in your life has been free? Yeah. I said, I don't know if nobody told you, when you leave here, you're going to have to start paying for everything. Motherfucker
Yeah.
eyes got big as hell, like, oh, thank you, Mr. Hunt. Hey, Mr. Hunt, thank you. I'm like, look, you don't want to give up your time for nobody. I never had to go to summer school, knock on wood, because I learned from all of the punishments that I had growing up. You ain't gonna get that time back, and you gonna watch every motherfucker outside having fun while you up in this bitch for 10 weeks, I was like, yeah, jail ain't the place for me. And these high school kids, they don't even know how to play. They so in tune with the internet.
Well, I fought a lot of these public schools, man. You know,
Hmm.
they enable that stuff. So like I was like, back then we used to have driver's ed. We don't even have driver's ed no more. So PE, it was mandatory that you actually had to do PE. You actually had to get in, recreational clothes, go out there, play, come
Yeah.
back in, take a shower, and all that stuff, and go back to your other classes for the remainder of the day. They don't even do that no more. I remember when I was in Louisiana, visiting a friend, and when he was taking us through Louisiana, it was during like about 1:30, and we drove past the school. It was I guess it was PE for a certain period, and it was all these kids that was outside, but they were just standing around in groups, in their like uh in their regular clothes. They was all on phones and stuff like that. I'm like, that's the reason why these kids ain't fit. They always injury prone because They ain't out there, scraping their bodies up when they're young and all that, strengthening their bones and what they're brittle,
Mm-hmm.
so and then it's like the home training for a lot. I won't say, everybody, but because I know there are people that discipline their kids, you know, and that's another thing. You can't discipline nobody. You can't discipline your kids because they got this old dry snitching mess going on, talking about why you beating your kid, you abusing your kid. If that was the case, my mom abused the hell out of me. My mom
Right.
and my dad abused the hell out of me, but I turned out fine. So, you know, it's honestly, Rogers, this country is getting soft. I hate to say
Yeah.
it. This country is getting soft, man. We turn into some straight bitches.
Man. So one of the homies, they retired as a master gunnery sergeant. He said, Hunt, these guys got stress cards. When you chew their ass out, like in regular active duty, they could write up a thing saying that they stressed out. What the fuck? Hey, I don't want you in no fighting hole with me. I don't want you nowhere around me. You know how it was when we was in there.
Yeah, people got to understand something. You know, in the military, you have to have a certain level of violence to you. That's the reason why you're in the military. You are there to defend the country, through all enemies, foreign and domestic. People don't understand the domestic part. You know, I'm I'm gonna get back to that, because I'm a hit a couple nerves. But you got to understand, God forbid that we go to war. You can't have people that went through that's going through boot camp or basic training with stress cards, because of the fact that it's too hard, bullets flying everywhere and all this stuff. They tell you, to go here, go there, and you crying and all that. Ain't no time for that. Ain't no time for that. Why people don't understand, when drill instructors or drill sergeants yell at recruits is a method to that madness. It's because they're trying to get the person, the recruit, whoever it is, whatever they call the
They're
initiate,
trying to get the bitch out of you.
not just that, but trying to get them used to chaos,
Mm-hmm.
because war is chaos.
Mm-hmm.
So pretty much if you're not used to it or you're not trained to deal with it, you are going to fold. There was a video that was circulating with when the Ukraine and Russian war was going on. It was like a Ukrainian that was versus a Russian, and they showed it live of them actually, hand to hand combat. And the Ukrainian uh, got the Russian, but he stabbed him to death. You know, People got to understand the realities of war. When you're in the military, there's a chance that you're going to go to war. People going into the military, for school, for benefits. That's cool and all, but your primary duty is to be in the army, is a soldier, for a Marine, is a rifleman, for the Navy, I don't know what it is, for the Air Force, I don't know what that is, or the Coast Guard, I don't know what that is. But you have to have a certain level of violence to you when called upon. You can't be no punk bitch when the country calls you in a time of war to defend itself. Now going back to domestic.
Or your own life on the line. Shit.
Right, right, exactly. Now going back to the domestic part, and I don't know, understanding why people are, you know, raising all up in arms about, all this nonsense that's going on, with, like uh these shootings and all these like invasions. well, I want to say invasions, when, National Guard is coming in to clean up the streets and stuff like that, because you got illegal immigrants from another country that are in our country that's trying to take over. You
Yeah,
know, that's domestic terrorism.
yeah.
You know, you got to defend that. But people are like, oh, you shooting people. Oh, they coming in having a war. People don't understand. They're so shallow. They're
Hmm.
so shallow. That's the reason why, you know, these news outlets, the news be pumping narratives and all that stuff, and you believe that what the news telling you is true. You got to pull back, take a second and think and make some sense of it. Why are they doing this? You know, okay, they're illegals. You know, okay, if they're illegals, what are
Why are
they
they
doing?
here?
Yeah, why are they here? Exactly. You know, and then it's people people fail to realize, that once you in the military and you put your hand up and you swear, to God, whatever, or you affirm that and it's in the oath, when you take the oath of being a soldier, airman, sailor, marine, whatever, that you would defend this country against all enemies, foreign and domestic. People just say it without realizing or knowing what they're saying. They don't understand what they're saying. They're just saying it just to say it, just so they can go through the process. No, you got to understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man.
I'm gonna tell you something. I I I I analyze every situation when I go to the store, when I'm out at the club, when I'm going to my job. I peep everything. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And by me being in the military, I'm very, very calm because I already know the other side. You understand what I'm saying? I don't want to get emotional about anything. You know?
and that's the thing. That's the key word, what you just said, emotion. You got to take your emotions out of it, because your emotions will actually get you hurt.
Yeah. They conflict with intelligence and common sense.
Yep.
And like with the technology, like they get these kids these Chromebooks. There's no reason why one month old baby should have a damn tablet. Hey, get this YouTube shit out of my face. I want to crawl on the floor. God damn it, fuck this shit. I want to play with. I want Uncle T to throw the ball. I want to throw shit at Uncle T. Fuck this computer. You know? I think that the technology, like the constant technology, it's a tool. Don't get me wrong, but it's um, it's crippling people's ability to use their real computer. You understand? So I was teaching geometry one day and I was doing a problem working it out, and somebody raised their hand and said, "How you know that's right without using a calculator?" I said, "I'm using a calculator. It's just not the one you used to.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's calculated and kept me alive a lot of years. Fuck that."
Bruh, I can actually go a little bit deeper, because when we came up, because we're Gen Z, not Gen Z, we're Gen X. So pretty much, we grew up without having cell phones. So we had the old school rotary phones, and all that.
Payphone.
Yeah, back then, I can remember 20, 20 phone numbers by heart, you
Hmm.
know, right off the top of the dome. You can't do that right now because of cell phones. Cell phones make you dependent on them because of the fact that, you got so many numbers and whatnot, that it's like, you know, your basic number, like A lot of them probably don't even know their parents' numbers by heart. They got to
No,
go
they
out there.
don't.
They got to go on the phone and actually scroll where it says mom or dad and then hit it. They don't know it off the top of their dome. You know, the only number that they know is 911. That's easy,
Hmm.
for emergency. But as far as your parents and or your brother and your sister, you don't know that. You I say 98% of the population don't know their mother or their parents' phone numbers by heart, or their brothers or sisters or immediate family members. They don't know their immediate family members' phone numbers by heart. And that's a fact. That's a
That
fact.
that's
Technology, yeah, it's we're too dependent on it. And I got it that, as we, go move on in time, things change. I got that. But, you know, when the signal goes out and there's an emergency that needs to be had, or whatever, and you're like, can I borrow your phone? And somebody gives you a phone and you don't even know the number to the person that you're trying to call. You're stuck.
that's crazy. I remember a close family member of mine. They always talking about this family member and all that, but I know where it come from. They likable, they smart, smarter than most, but they just not with the bullshit. So they got locked up. They called my phone. I'm like, what the fuck? She was like, oh, I just called to talk to you. You know, I got money on my books and everything, but I want you to send me some shit. You feel me? I
Hmm.
sent it, but that's a person, that has not been crippled by the technology, being taught the older ways, and they get mad when a motherfucker say, oh, my brother taught me this. My brother showed me this. I learned this from my brother, which is
Yeah,
crazy. You gotta teach these kids how to survive. Like right now, a society is a lot of ducks,
yeah,
you know?
yeah. It's you know, it in a way, society is trying to correct itself, right now.
It's too
But
many distractions.
yeah, I but honestly, I think it's too far gone, especially with our community. We're too far gone, man.
Yeah, you
It,
can't even say good morning to a motherfucker. You can't hold the door open for nobody.
Oh, you can hold the door open for somebody, but they're not going to say, a lot of them not going to say thank you. They're just going to just take the door. That's what irritates me. I be wanting so bad to like open the door. I see somebody come and just let the door just close right behind me. But, I got that, training in me because, to open the door and if a person's like a couple feet away from me, to hold the door for them because, it's polite, to do so. But people, they take advantage of your kindness, and it's like, I get irritated at times, but I just like, this is just who I am, so I just
Right.
let it roll off my shoulders, so
All right. Do you want to have some fun? Because you look sad.
man, I'm good. I'm good. Because we talking about, whole
I know.
society and all that stuff. So it's
Do
just
you
like,
do
man,
you want to play Smash, Pass, or Dash? I ain't played this game on my show in a long time.
let's go ahead and play it.
All right. So the way the game works, I pick three females. You smashing one. You passing one to the homie, and then you just saying, "Oh no, forget it." Period. You know. So, are you ready?
Let's go.
Thelma from Good Times, Nia Long, and Laura London.
right. Uh, I was I was smash Thelma from Good Times. I will I will pass Nia Long, and I would dash Laura London.
Okay. That's what's popping. It ain't no right or wrong answers or nothing like that. Okay. We got what's her name? We got Holly Berry, Vivica Fox. Wait. Holly Berry, Vivica Fox, and Tina Turner.
I would smash Halle Berry. I would dash Vivica Fox, and I would pass Tina Turner.
Okay. We got Stacy Dash.
I knew you was getting ready to say Stacey Dash.
We got Stacy Dash. Lil' Kim before all of the surgeries. And Missy.
Smash in that order. What you just said, I would smash Stacey, pass uh uh Lil Kim, and dash Missy.
Okay. Okay, last but not least. Da-na-na-na. We got Pam Grier,
Mm, the original Foxy Brown.
Diane Carroll, and Felicia Rashad. Just the GOAT edition right here, the
Yeah,
Mount
bruh.
Rushmore.
Yeah, dude. Man, I would definitely have to smash Pam Grier. Definitely. I would. Alicia Rashad, and who was the other one?
Diane Carroll.
Oh God, Lee, man. Yeah, I would have I'll pass Diane Carroll and dash Felicia Rashad. Man, that's hard.
That's what's popping. So, if you could leave anything for the listeners of Riders Live, what would it be?
My thing is, just stay true to yourself, just don't believe don't believe, nonsense, you know, think logically, you know, move with a sense of purpose, and just know that uh you control your own destiny.
Yes, sir. Hey, that's what's popping. Hey, this has been another episode of Riders Live. Thanks for coming on here, Watts. Peace.
Later.